So yeah, I still hate Miami. You saw my recent video, went to Jamaica to celebrate my homeboy's birthday. Happy birthday, Art. One of the more difficult tasks though was trying to find a reasonable flight from Los Angeles to Jamaica. Quickly discovered it's not easy. It's not easy at all. Now my flight to Jamaica is what took me to New York and what gave me that overnight layover. The return journey was similar, except instead of going to New York, I was going to be headed from Jamaica to Miami, and then from Miami to Phoenix, and then from Phoenix back to LA. Now the actual flight to Miami from Jamaica, it was cool. It was cool enough. It was smooth. I arrived to Sangster Airport in Montego Bay. And of course, like, they weren't open. Like, the airport was open, but the airline was not open. So, you just have like dozens of people waiting to check in for whatever flight back to wherever they were going. And, it even got to the point where one of the airline employees, she was helping me out because the machines, the kiosks were messing up. And she was just like, if you want breakfast, you have to let me know because I have to go buy it for you. And I was just like, no. I was just like, that's an extra thing. And I feel like if you were to do that, things would mess up. And she was like, why would you say that? And I was just like, trust me, I have a sixth sense for these things. And as she's trying to help me check in and everything, like the machine messed up twice while she was there. She just looked at me and she was just like, you're right, things will mess up. And I was just like, this does not bode well for my travel home. Ooh, phone buzzing. So whatever, the flight to Miami was actually pretty cool. Upon arrival in Miami, yeah. So first off, upon arrival in Miami, it was raining. And some of the people on my flight seemed to be so surprised by, like, oh my God, it's raining. I can't believe it. And, for me, I'm just, y'all know my history with Miami. I went to school in Miami. I lived in Miami forever. It rains in Miami every fucking day. Every day. As a matter of fact, my theme song during my freshman year in college was Mary J. Blige. Every day it rains. So whatever. I just already knew that was a bad omen. That was just a bad omen. But whatever. Get inside the terminal, disembark the plane, get inside the terminal. And I realized that I'm in the terminal that has a La Carreta. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm going to get a pastelito. I have not had a pastelito in probably 6 years. I think the last time I was in Miami was for my boy's wedding, my boy Jason's wedding. And that was probably the last time that I had a pastelito. So I went to La Carreta, got a pastelito. I got a meat pastelito. Some people like the cheese or the guava one. Give me the meat pastelito. So I got a meat pastelito, but I did not get a Cuban coffee because I was just like, my nerves and my heart, I don't know that either could take the intensity of Cuban coffee. So my dumb ass decided to go to Dunkin' Donuts. Now the Dunkin' that I went to was inside like one of those newsstands, news stores where you buy books, magazines, snacks, and t-shirts and stuff like that. So fine. So I walk in and the Dunkin' Donuts portion, it has its own counter. And in the counter, you can see like the donuts and everything. And of course, behind the counter is where they make the coffee, they brew the coffee, whatever. And then maybe about 2 to 3 feet over is the register where you pay for your purchases. So at the register are like 2 airport employees and they're chatting with the young ladies that work behind the counter. And you can tell, they're friends or whatever. They're, they have their rapport, right? These guys probably come through every day, always order stuff. You can tell they got their own thing. So they're standing at the register. So I walk up to the Dunkin' Donuts counter. Number one, to peruse the menu, because the only way you can see the menu is if you're at the counter. You can't really see the menu from, the cash register. So I go up to, check out the menu. I pretty much know I'm just going to get a regular coffee. Like, that's all I wanted. And also to place my order, right? So I'm standing there for about 5 minutes. And these heifers behind the... And these girls behind the counter don't acknowledge me, don't, come over anything. They're busy wrapped up in their little conversation with the other airport employees. And so finally one of them looks at me, and I mean with just the most absolute disdain, just like, if you want to order, you have to stand over here. And the over here is like where the airport employees were standing. I'm supposed to know that I have to stand at the register to order. But again, if I'm standing at the register, I can't even see the menu to see what the fuck Dunkin' Donuts offers. So that doesn't make sense, but whatever. The employees, the guys, they were just like, oh, no problem with them. Like, they stepped back to give me room. I move over a couple of feet, and the girl's like, what do you want? I'm just like, bitch, I want a regular coffee, small coffee, a little bit of cream, a little bit of milk. And she goes off to make it, and I pay and everything, and they bring it to me. And I'm a very nice person. You perform a service for me, I'm the type of person that will thank you. I will tip when appropriate. 99% of the time it is appropriate. But in this instance, number one, they weren't getting any kind of tip for this $2 coffee. But number two, they also weren't getting any gratitude from me. I'm just like, no, fuck this. Give me my fucking coffee. And the girl sets the coffee down on the counter, and I take it and I walk away. And as I walk away, I hear her go, you're welcome. And I was just like, you know what? There you go. That's that good old Miami rudeness that I have not missed. Because if y'all don't know, people in Miami are super extra fucking rude. Before I moved to New York, that was something that a lot of people, oh, New Yorkers are rude, New Yorkers are not rude. New Yorkers are busy. New Yorkers are on the move. New Yorkers have shit to do. But if you want to test the rudeness of a New Yorker, when you ride the train, just ask someone how to get somewhere. Ask them what train you should take. And I guarantee you, a real New Yorker will take the time to explain how to get to your destination, what train you need to catch, where you need to transfer, all this good stuff, right? They'll do it in a concise way. And once you've got it, they're out. It's not rude. They give it to you in a concise manner, and then they're out. If you're a tourist and you're like walking slowly and you're blocking the way, you might get shoved and pushed and cursed out, but that's because New Yorkers have shit to do and places to be. But New Yorkers are not rude. Whereas Miamians, are they called Miamians? People who live in Miami are fucking rude for no fucking reason. Just like the girls that worked at the Dunkin' Donuts counter. Just awful, terrible, horrible people. But that wasn't the end of my experience at the Miami. This is all in the airport too. I didn't even leave the airport. So just like with the trip to Jamaica, I had to spend some time in the airport. So I was going to spend several hours at the Miami airport. And this was just like within the first hour. So I got my pastelito. I got my coffee. I walked to the gate where I was supposed to, transfer flights. Just going to post up in that area because I knew I had time to kill. All right, I'm actually on my way to get food. I know whenever y'all see me, it's just like, Jay, you're always eating terribly. You say you're trying to eat healthy, and every time I make a video, I guess I am eating terribly. But I promise y'all, when I'm not making these videos, when y'all don't see me, I'm eating healthy. I'm eating chicken breast and brown rice and like some sort of vegetable. 90% of the time I'm eating good, healthy food. And the 10% that I'm eating terribly is when I happen to pick up the camera and make the video. But you know what? I deserve cheat meals every once in a while. So I'm going to get a cheat meal, and I'm going to show y'all where I'm getting the cheat meal from. And then I'm going to continue my Miami experience. Okay, so I was not expecting this much rice at all. It is what it is. I'm not going to complain. I recently found near me a bulletproof Chinese food spot. Now, is it the same as bulletproof Chinese in Brooklyn? No, but it is damn sure better than Panda Express. I just got shrimp fried rice and like a chicken egg roll. Nothing extreme or out of the ordinary. Where's my beverage? Okay, so back to the airport. So I'm waiting in the area where I'm supposed to catch my connecting flight. And I get a notification that the gate has changed. My flight is now leaving from a different gate in a different terminal. I was like, okay, that's fine. You know, the flight doesn't leave for several hours, and I understand that shit changes, so it is what it is. I got plenty of time. So I decided to walk to the other terminal just because I have the time. I'm gonna walk to the other terminal, to the other gate, and post up there. If y'all have never been, Miami International Airport is pretty big because it's an international airport that services not only the US, but like the entire world. I mean, like Europe and the Caribbean, like all of these areas, you know, are serviced by Miami International. So it's a pretty large airport, and moving from one terminal to the next is not a small feat. That's why they actually have what they call a sky train. And the SkyTrain will take you between the different terminals. But again, because I had plenty of time, I decided to walk. Why not? Let me people watch. Let me get some B-roll, right? So I carry my ass over to the other terminal, and I find the gate, and I'm like, okay, I know where I need to be. Let me post up at a bar. So there's a bar, the Island Bar, the Islander Bar. Shout out to Leah, dope bartender at the Island Bar in Miami International. So I go, and I'm just like, you know what? I don't want to get drunk. Like, I want to pace myself. I want it to be a nice mellow high. I decided to get wine, Pinot Grigio. So I'm there at the bar, and I'm drinking my wine, and I'm reading Joe Esterhaas, The Devil of Hollywood, The Devil in Hollywood. I forget the title. But, you know, I'm reading one of his books at the bar while I drink my wine, passing the time. Met a nice couple from Louisiana, Ben and Lynn. If y'all are watching, shout out to y'all. So I get hungry, I want something to eat. I really don't want anything to eat from the Island Bar. There's a Wendy's not too far. It's like, it's fine. Wendy's is fine. It's also inexpensive. So I go to Wendy's. I get in line at Wendy's, and the line doesn't move. Why? Because the people who are standing at the kiosk where you order your food seemingly can't decide what they want to eat. Standing in line at Wendy's, want to order something, and people are taking forever at the kiosk, and I don't understand because it's just burgers and fries. Wendy's doesn't have anything complicated. Burgers, fries, Coke. What the shit is the issue? So having like the kiosk there really provided no benefit from standing in the regular long ass line, but whatever. I finally get my food. I go back to the gate, go back to the area, and as I'm eating, I get a notification that the gate is changing again. Normally I would not be upset by this, but the gate changed back to the original terminal that I had come from. So I went from one end of the fucking airport to the other end, had drinks, had Wendy's, only for them to alert me to tell me that I had to go back to where I started. I was like, all right, fine. I still got time. Not a big deal, right? As I'm eating, the gate changes again. Now, it's still at the other end of the airport, but I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? What are y'all doing? Why can't y'all get this together? Why can't you get it together? So now I'm getting pissed because I'm just like, this just makes no sense. They've moved my gate 5 times since I've been in this airport, 3 times within the past hour. So my dumbass has been running up and down this entire airport from one end of the terminal to another. Like at some point you have to know like what gate this plane is going to land at so that people can meet there. Like this is American Airlines. Like getting really fucking frustrated with American Airlines. This is not an endorsement. This is not at all an endorsement of American. I'm fucking frustrated with y'all right now. Patience lost. I finish my meal. I get ready to go to the gate because at this point, you know, time has passed. And it's just like, okay, I need to be near the gate now. Like, you know, and this is a good like 20-minute walk if I go through the airport. If I go through the SkyTrain, it might be a little shorter, but it just involves so much. Just going up and down escalators, then waiting on the fucking, you know, you just may as well just make the walk. If you are physically able, may as well just make the walk. So I decide to walk back, and as I'm walking back to the terminal, I get a notification that the gate changed again to a whole different ass terminal. Luckily, I was headed in a direction where I could veer off to this third terminal. But now I'm just like, American, what the shit are y'all doing? So whatever, I veer off to this third terminal and I get to the gate. Thankfully, this is the gate. They don't change. The plane was late. And then on top of the plane being late, there was an issue because the plane rolled over an air hose or something. So it's just like, they couldn't board when they were supposed to. So not only was the plane late, but the flight was just going to take off late anyway because they had this issue with the plane being on top of an air hose and they had to like back up off the air hose and some dumb shit. This was not an ideal situation. This was not a an unstressful, that is a word. This was not a flight without stress. I was just like, the shit are y'all doing? But I'm thankful that I wasn't on, I guess, the flight that was going to, there's a flight going to Washington, I think, going to Reagan Airport. Because those passengers, boy, they were coming to our gate, screaming and yelling at the gate attendants at my gate. Like, we've been waiting here for 12 hours. Like, oh shit, sorry for y'all. And then there was also, I don't know what the male equivalent of a Karen is. I guess a Chad, is that the term? But when the gate attendant was saying, calling out the different, boarding groups and saying you have to have a mask to board, this one guy was just kind of like standing by the gate, and the gate attendant went over to him and was just like, sir, do you, I don't know if you speak English, but you've got to wear your mask and, please don't stand by the gate if your gate has been called. The guy was just like, yes, I speak English. What do you think? And immediately in my mind, I'm just like, well, I think we're at Miami International Airport where there are probably travelers who don't speak English. And if they hear an announcement made in English or made in a language that they don't speak, they don't understand, they might not follow like what was laid out in that announcement. That was my immediate thought, but he was just, I could tell he was on that, yes, I speak English, I'm in America, So he called the gate attendant a dumbass. The gate attendant was just like, a word? Okay. 2 minutes later, security was around this dude. He was just like, wait a minute. I didn't say anything vulgar. I called him a dumbass, but that's not an insult. That's not vulgar. And then he was really on some like, show me in your policy, where that's considered vulgar language or that's, it's just like, bro, like, you're not going to win this situation. Like, what are you doing? Oh, what a dickhead. I think they let him on the flight, but, I kind of hope they didn't, but, he was an asshole. He really was an asshole. So, yeah, this whole experience, it really just reminded me how much I dislike Miami, even though I do have dear friends that still live there. And even though Miami really played a major part in kind of like shaping who I am, it's not a place that I have any real desire to like visit anytime soon. Like, I'm not a fan of Florida. My family, they love vacationing in Florida, like especially Orlando. I'm just like, Florida can, no offense to anyone who's watching who lives in Florida, but I lived in Florida for a very long time. So I can say this shit. I'm not a fan. And this brief 6-7 hour experience at Miami International just really kind of like solidified my position for me. I'm just like, But I will say this. The flight that I boarded to Phoenix, I ended up sitting next to an older couple, and they own Jamaica Kitchen in Miami. They've been there since 1976. It blows my mind because I don't think I ever heard of them. I don't remember Jamaica Kitchen or anything at all. And their restaurant is located near the University of Miami, like right near it. Like when they told me the address, I was like, yeah, you guys are right around the corner from campus. And they even told me they get a lot of students from campus that come through. I'm just like, I went to UM. I have hella friends who are from Jamaica, hella friends who are from Miami. We were always in that area. I know that my Jamaican friends, my Jamaican classmates, like probably went there. And it's just like, wow. I never heard of y'all before. And they were super cool, very nice couple. They gave me their card. I was just like, okay, if I ever come back to Miami, and let's be honest, I will visit Miami again. For as much shit as I'm talking, I will visit Miami again. But I promised them that I would come and check them out. And I also promised them that I would tell all of my friends, you know, all my people who live in Miami or who may visit Miami, to check out Jamaica Kitchen. So y'all check out Jamaica Kitchen. Tell them Jay Finger sent you. Sat next to them on the plane. Okay, I'm hungry. I'm gonna eat this fried rice that I got from the Bulletproof Chinese spot, and I'll see y'all in the next video.